When people think about traveling to Moldova, they often hear about the same places: the wineries, the underground cellars in Orheiul Vechi, and, of course, the capital, Chișinău. And yes, all of these places are worth seeing. But after traveling around Moldova, I've discovered that some of my favorite experiences are found somewhere else, away from the famous attractions, away from organized tours, and sometimes simply along the road. This is the Moldova that tourists don't always see. Leave Chișinău behind, and Moldova changes surprisingly quickly. The busy streets disappear, the buildings become smaller, the traffic becomes lighter, and before long, you find yourself surrounded by fields, vineyards, and seemingly endless countryside. Moldova is a country made for slow travel. Not because the distances are particularly large, they aren't, but because there's always something that makes you want to stop. A village, a roadside market, an old building, a beautiful landscape, or simply something you weren't expecting to see. Moldova is an experience in itself. Modern cars share the road with old Soviet vehicles, tractors, and occasionally horses and carts. Some roads are excellent. Others can turn the journey into a small adventure. But that's part of traveling here. If you only travel between Moldova's major tourist attractions, you miss much of what makes the country interesting. Because Moldova doesn't always announce its attractions with signs and visitor centers. Sometimes you simply discover them. The villages are perhaps the best example. At first glance, many may appear quiet, but look more closely. Behind the gates and fences are gardens filled with vegetables, fruit trees, and grapevines. People grow an extraordinary amount of their own food. Grapes become wine. Fruit becomes preserves. Vegetables are stored for winter. And traditions that have disappeared from many parts of Europe are still part of everyday life here. You also begin to notice the houses. Some are simple. Others are surprisingly colorful and elaborate. And almost every village seems to have its own character. Then there are the wells. Drive through Moldova and you'll see them everywhere. Many are beautifully decorated and stand beside roads or outside homes. They may seem like small details, but they are part of the landscape and part of village life. The same is true of the gates, roadside crosses, monuments, and old bus stops. Things that most visitors would probably drive past without thinking twice. But together, these small details tell you something about the country. Seems to have its own character. And then there are Moldova's markets. If you really want to understand a country, visit a local market. Here you see what people actually grow, buy, and eat during summer. The stalls can be overflowing with tomatoes, peppers, grapes, peaches, watermelons, and countless other fruits and vegetables. Much of it has traveled only a short distance. Some of it may have come directly from someone's garden that morning. This is one of the things I enjoy about Moldova. Food still feels closely connected to the seasons and to the land. And you don't need to visit an expensive restaurant to experience it. Sometimes the most interesting taste of Moldova is bought from someone sitting beside the road. Moldova also carries its history everywhere you look. The country was part of the Soviet Union until 1991, and traces of that period are still easy to find. Old apartment blocks, monuments, factories, cars, architecture, and small details that seem frozen in another era. But Moldova is not a country trapped in the past. That's what makes the contrast so interesting. Return to Chișinău and you find modern restaurants, cafes, shopping centers, new buildings, and a younger generation looking very much toward the future. Old and new exist side by side, sometimes literally on the same street. Moldova is bought from someone sitting beside the road. Moldova is changing. Chișinău today is very different from the image many people outside the country probably have of it. There are busy cafes, parks full of people, modern restaurants, and an increasingly lively city center. But travel an hour outside the capital, and life can feel completely different. That contrast is one of the things that makes Moldova fascinating to explore. You don't have to travel hundreds of kilometers to feel that you've entered another world. Same street. Moldova is bought from someone sitting beside the road. And then there is the landscape. Moldova doesn't have dramatic mountains. It doesn't have a coastline. And it doesn't have the famous natural landmarks that attract millions of tourists to other European countries. Its beauty is quieter. Rolling hills, fields stretching toward the horizon, sunflowers, vineyards, rivers and lakes, small villages scattered across the countryside, and roads disappearing into the distance. From the ground, it can seem simple. From above, you begin to understand just how agricultural this country really is. Huge patterns of fields cover the landscape. This land has shaped Moldova for generations, and it continues to shape its food, its wine, and its way of life. Perhaps that's also why Moldova is difficult to explain through a list of tourist attractions. Some countries immediately try to impress you. Moldova doesn't. You have to spend some time here. Drive the smaller roads. Stop in places you weren't planning to visit. Talk to people. Visit a market. Eat the local food. And occasionally get a little lost. That's when the country begins to reveal itself. Of course, you should visit Moldova's famous wineries. You should see Orheiul Vechi. You should explore Chișinău. They are an important part of the Moldova experience. But don't stop there, because between those destinations is another Moldova, one that doesn't appear very often in travel brochures. It's in the villages, the markets, the countryside, the old cars, the roadside stalls, the people working in their gardens, and the ordinary moments of everyday life. After spending time traveling around this country, I've realized something. The places I remember most aren't always the famous ones. Sometimes it's a road through the countryside, a small village I didn't know existed, a conversation with someone I had never met before, or simply stop in the car because something looked interesting. Those moments are difficult to put on a tourist map, but for me, they are an important part of Moldova. Maybe that's the secret to traveling here. Don't arrive with a checklist of attractions you need to photograph. Give yourself time. Take the smaller road occasionally. Stop when something catches your attention. And look beyond the places everyone tells you to visit. Because Moldova's greatest attraction may not be one particular place. It may simply be Moldova itself. This is a Moldova tourists don't always see. And perhaps it's the Moldova most worth discovering. Thanks for watching.